Hello, everyone, and welcome to our community recap. I'm Andrew Hochradel, and we are going to be going over whatever you want to know. We have an hour together. We get to hang out, we get to vibe, and you know what? I might turn some music on just so you can have some good vibes in the background. It's all about the shoulders today. So I'm going to turn on some good vibes so that we have that going on in the background. And in the meantime, I have put a poll up on the YouTube chat. So if you're watching on Behance, thanks so much for being here. But Mod, if we can post a link to the YouTube video, head over to YouTube and go ahead and vote on the poll. There are 4 options for us to do and work on today. Those options are going to be 3D. We've got text to vector. If you want to learn a little bit more about typography, we also are going to be talking maybe about texturing or dealer's choice. Whatever you want to hear, whatever you want to learn, let me know. It is going to be just a Friday vibe stream for the community. So we also have some things coming up that I want to talk about that are starting up next year in the new year. The challenges are going to be changing up a little bit, and we're going to give you more information on this in the next couple weeks, but challenges will be changing a little bit, and we will be moving to a weekly challenge, which will be fun, and we should have them every week. So instead of waiting to have the daily challenges, we'll have something for you every week, which will be really, really fun. But I'll give you more information about that in the future. Let's get our vibes going. Chat, how do we feel about those vibes? Let me know about the levels. And it looks like the poll is overwhelmingly right now. There's some votes coming in. It looks like 3D and texture are coming in about the same. I see some votes here for 3D in the Behance chat as well. So let's go ahead and let's give it like 30 more seconds and then we'll call it 3D in chat. Let me know what you think about the idea of a weekly challenge. That way it gives us a little more time to work on things so we're not so rushed with so many projects. Let me know what you think about that. It looks like texture and 3D are tied, so we might start with those at the beginning. Let's go ahead and hop in. I'm going to end that poll. Thanks so much for voting, everybody. If you want to, you can stay over on YouTube. I do have YouTube and Behance chat up so that you can see both. But let's go ahead and hop in, and I want to create some custom textures. This is going to be really, really fun. So we're going to be using 2 different things today. We're going to be using substance materials, which I'll show you how to do real quick here. But then we're also going to be pairing substance materials by creating our own materials in Adobe Firefly, which is going to be really fun. So let's go ahead and hop in here. Check this out. What we're going to do is chat. I need a theme. I need a theme or a word or something. I love the holidays, so I am going to do maybe happy holidays. Let's start there. And I'm just going to type this up, and I want to get a font that's kind of big and chunky. And chat saying, I love the sound of weekly. I might actually find some time to do the weekly ones. Yes, it is a lot of content when we do it. So let's go ahead and, you know what? Let's look for a new font. So let's come over here, and we're going to go over to, find more right here. So find more is going to help us find new fonts that maybe we haven't used before, which would be really fun. And someone saying Nakatomi Plaza is actually in Los Angeles. If you've watched Die Hard, I actually watched Die Hard on that building, which is really cool. Downtown Los Angeles. All right, so we're initializing here. It is going to open up all of Adobe fonts. It does take a second because it's loading in a bunch of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and disappear. Hold on. Oh, my green screen isn't turned on. Y'all are getting a little peek behind the curtain here. Oh, here we go. All right. Achoo. There we go. No background for y'all. We got it turned off. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out and we're going to do some 3D here. So I'm going to select my font, go to find more and find a good font. I'm going to filter, and I want something that is maybe decorative. Let's do something weird. So let's do decorative, and I want something that's like pretty bold. So let's scroll through and see what we've got here. I like that. Not mad about that one. I want something that's like really chunky. That's got some like heft to it. Let's see here. Export. I'm not mad about this one. This is kind of cool. So we're going to download export right here, and we're going to use that as well. So let's see what happens. So we're going to do export, and we're not going to export. We're using the font export. I also am going to grab force here. I think force looks pretty cool as well. And once those are synced, you can come back into your type panel. Just Control T to open that up. And we're going to do export Let me turn off these filters. It's still syncing. My Illustrator's having a minute trying to sync thing. Oh, there we go. All right, we're here. We got it. Export. I like this font a lot. So we're going to use this font right here. We're going to change the kerning maybe a little bit, and then we will center align as well. So I'm going to show you how you can do some very easy texturing with materials. We're going to outline this type, Control-Shift-O, just to outline that. And then we're going to go, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a copy because I want this over here. And then we're going to select this, and we're going to do some different effects to it. So we're going to go to Effect, we're going to go to 3D Materials, we're going to go to Extrude and Bevel, and that is going to give us a 3D on this type. So I like to do a 3D bevel, but then pull into like a perspective. So let's open up, my Illustrator's having trouble today. My goodness, what is going on? So we're going to leave it at front, and that's just going to make it front on. I'm going to change the color to white. That's going to give us a little bit of a different shade. And then here's what I like to do is I like to change the perspective on this. So I am going to add in a little bit of a bevel here. And then as I scroll down, you can see perspective. I'm going to add some perspective, and that will just give me like that 3D look that I want to this type to give it a little bit of pull out with some perspective. And someone in the chat is saying the mockup in Illustrator. Yes, mockup tool is really great. So we might explore that today as well. If you want to, again, today chat, it's all about you. So we've got some really cool 3D letters here. I don't love, actually, I'm not crazy about the classic bevel. Let's see if we do some other ones. So let's do convex. Not crazy about that one. Classic outline. That's kind of cool. I'm not mad about that. Square outline, no, absolutely not. Step, probably not. Step might be cool. Okay, so let's see if I change the height. So I probably want a little bit less height on it. Actually, do I want more height? Should we like push it there? And then width, we're gonna do a lot less, maybe a thin. Oh, let's do thick. All right, I'm not mad about that. That's kind of cool to give it that extra level of dimension. Never mind, I hate it. Chat, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Don't hate me, chat. I'm so sorry. I'm not. We're gonna set these back to 50. All right, so standard right there. Let's go ahead and put a material on here. So what I can do is I can just select here and go over to materials. And then looking through my materials, I have a lot that are loaded in here, but none that really say holidays to me. I want something that says happy holidays. So what I can do is just click on this button right here to find more materials from the community. That's you, chat. That's you, the community. So what's cool is there are a ton of different ones, and chat, we already found the one that I want. It is Bobble. If you were here early in the week, you remember Bob, our friend Bob L. He was a generation that we created using text to vector, but I am going to go into, I'm going to open up Bobble right here. I think that's a good texture. I like this mosaic flourish, very holidays. We gotta have some party mix. The fact that somebody made this into a material is crazy, but awesome. And I'm just gonna type in holiday. Okay, maybe let's type in like Christmas. Okay, Christmas tree ornament. Ooh, I like the sweater fabric. Love sweater fabric. And I am going to do one that's maybe just pine to see if I can get like a pine tree. Okay, I want like the lines. Okay, I think that we're probably good to get started with some of these. I'm just gonna scroll through. This one's great, love that. And this is constantly being updated. People are constantly uploading different materials here that you can use. This is Bobble. This is obviously the one that we want to use. And when we're downloading this, we want to make sure that we are getting an SBSAR file. So we're going to download right there. It's going to download the SBSAR file. And someone's saying, is there a sprinkles one? Well, we're about to find out. This is also an SBSAR. We got to get the party mix. I love that this is a material. This is my favorite thing that's ever happened. So we're going to do some party mix. I love a good sweater. So we also are going to do a sweater. And this one I'm going to create a sweater shape. And then we'll do like an inflate and apply it there. I like this one. Not crazy about it. Actually, I'm not going to download. And this one, meh. Not about it. So somebody said, is there sprinkles one? Let's try sprinkles. There are no sprinkles. Oh, I'm very surprised by that actually, chat. So let's go ahead and apply this here. So we've got our type says happy holidays, and all I need to do to load these in is click on the plus right here and then add materials. We're gonna go into our downloads, which my computer is almost full. And then we're just going to select all of these and hit open. It's going to load in, you'll see it down here, it'll take a second. It's gonna freeze for just a second as it loads these in. Let's go ahead and just wait. Illustrator, my Illustrator does this to where like when it's really thinking, it will like just take a break. It'll just take a little breath. So let's scroll here and see if we can find those materials right there. So we've got our glitter metal, that's our bauble, the fabric, mosaic flourish, and the party mix. Let's go ahead and apply the glitter metal. And this is looking a little bit too dark for me. I am going to repeat it, and that's just gonna give me a little more fineness on that texture. And then from there, I maybe want to change the lighting because it looks like the lighting might be affecting how dark this is. So I'm going to pull this here and see if I can get a little more shine on it. And I'm very interested why it's not as bright as I want it to be. Let's increase the intensity. And then maybe let's take off and play around with some of the bevel. I'm going to turn off the bevel here. There we go. All right, that helps us. The bevel was creating like a really, really hard shadow, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take down the width. There we go. Take down the height. Yes, that is what I want. Nice and puffy. Make it kind of round. And you know what? Let's do a round bevel here, and that's going to make these nice and puffy. So there we go. We've got this nice bauble. Ooh, that's really fun. And if we wanted to, we could add some more lighting. So we do only have the one light right now that's coming in from the side. So maybe we want it to go to the center. And I love that you can see that light moving across the type there as you move it. It does render in real time. So I'm going to put one here, and then I'm going to hit plus, and then do another one over on this side just so we have some even lighting here. Then maybe another one right in the center. 3 lights. A nice little glow. So we've got this nice little glow. This is really fun. I love this material. This material is really fun. So let's do one more. And this one is going to be the sweater version. So let's go ahead and check out the sweater version. Let's make a quick sweater. I think this will be really easy. Is we're just going to do the base of the sweater. We're going to do a sleeve or two. Here, I'm just going to, this is going to be a really rough sweater, chat. Just bear with me. We're going to go here, and then maybe we want to do a little scallop for the neckline right here. And I'm just going to use the Pathfinder tool to subtract that. Where is my Pathfinder? It says it's open. It's hiding. Hello. All right, so we got a little bit of a sweater. It's a little too wide, so I'm just going to pull things in a little bit here. All right, got a nice little sweater. Not mad about it. Why not? And someone is talking about, on YouTube, Project Neo. Yes, Project Neo is a sneak that happened, I believe, at Max. Really, really fun tool. It is really cool. So let's go ahead and add our material here, and we're going to add in our MMR fabric. Already we're winning here. So we're adding in our fabric. We are going to repeat it, and that's just going to give us the different scales. So as you see, the repeat is going to scale it up or down. So I want it kind of here. Looks pretty good to me. And then we are going to go to object, and we, instead of extruding, are going to inflate this. This is going to look so fun, chat. Hold on. We're going to do inflate. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's so good. Look at how bubbly it is. Bubble sweater. All right, so it is inflated a little bit too much, so I'm going to take the volume down just to give us a little less volume there. But I am going to change the lighting as well to maybe come in right here. But check that out. So super easily, super quickly, we have a really nice bubbly sweater. And you can use this for different textures. You can use this for different objects, which I think is really fun. Let's go ahead and do, what was the other material that we got that was fun? The party mix. The mosaic flourish is pretty fun. I think we could create a nice ornament out of that. And so I'm just going to create a little ornament by making a weird circle and then going to effect, going to distort, transform, and pucker and bloat. We're gonna make a little bauble here. We want to scale these out. And then I might outline this, object expand. It's gonna expand it, and then I'm gonna grab these corners and just round them in. So I have this really cool kind of ornament shape. From there, I am going to make it white. We are going to do another inflate on this one, I think. And that is going to give us this nice 3D object. And something we can do is we can select this and then go into inflate both sides. And by clicking inflate both sides, what happens is when I move this, you'll see that it turns into an actual 3D object because it's inflated both sides of this object that we created. So let me go ahead and apply that material. So we have this cool mosaic flourish that I think is really cool. And someone's saying cut it in half and revolve it. Yes, that is another way to do it. Inflating both sides actually does pretty much the same thing at this point. I love the metallicness of this one. Ooh, love the metallic of this one. So let's actually, let's do that. Let's go ahead and try the revolve, chat, just because, again, today's all about you. It's your day. Happy birthday, darling. So let's go ahead and delete half of this. And you can see that now we have basically half. So we cut it in half, and this is a really great way to create 3D objects, and we'll actually see the difference between the two. So we're gonna go to object and revolve. Revolve is going to take the object and spin it around into a 3D object. If we change it to right edge, it is going to create that nice little bobble for us. So as I rotate this, it is rotated full 3D, and I actually like that one better. So let's try this and let's inflate, and we'll see the difference. So I'm gonna inflate both sides. And you can see the difference in these as I rotate this one on the left. You'll see it almost inflates at like a weird, it's not perfectly smooth, but doing a revolve, it is perfectly smooth in that kind of bobble 3D shape. So I actually like the revolve better. Thank you so much, Carol. That was a fantastic suggestion for us to work with. So I'm gonna go to materials. We are going to apply that mosaic flourish, and I'm going to up the repeat on that. Ooh, I might repeat it more because it looks like it is stretching around that revolve. I'm not super mad about it. So let's move it. And you can see there, ooh, that is really good. Really, really great reflections on there. And yes, someone is saying this looks like a fat pillow. Yes, it does. It does. So the material applies better to the inflate, but this definitely looks better from a perspective. Like that looks really weird for creating an ornament, but this one, when I move it, is very much a smooth ornament. So what I could do if I want to add in some different lighting, we can go to lighting, and I can change the color of this actually. So maybe I want it to be a really light, kind of warm Christmas color. So let's do that yellow, and now you see that it's kind of reflecting that yellow. Let's add another light here. This one's gonna be coming off from this side. Maybe I want this one to be like a nice pink. So we're gonna add in some really unique colors here, and then I'm gonna do a little blue at the bottom, and then I'll probably change the other one to green. So I'm gonna move it all the way to the bottom here, and we're gonna do a nice blue. Oh, this is gonna look really pretty. And then this one, not crazy about yellow, we're gonna do green. Yeah. So watch, I'm gonna put this on like a black background just so we can see it with a little more contrast. That's really good, chat. I am not mad about this. And this isn't even ray traced. So if I wanted to, I could do ray tracing and it would make this even better. But look at that. This is a pretty good 3D model with the lighting intact as well. Ooh, man, I love this. You can see the light just bouncing off of the edges there. Really, really great. And look at that. We made something in 3 dimensions, chat. We did it. Yay. Looks iridescent. Yes, it does look iridescent. So speaking of iridescence, let's go ahead and do a workflow that's a little bit different. This is something that is going to leverage 3D, and 3D it's going to leverage Substance. We're going to use Substance Painter. So Substance Painter right now is on sale. It is a separate membership if you want to do that. So I am going to show you some stuff in Substance Painter. If you don't want to do this, that's fine. And I also will be dropping these SBSAR files for you so that if you want to use them, you can. So let's go ahead and go into Substance Painter. We're gonna do a couple different things here. I'm gonna open up Substance Painter. So how do you spell that? Substance. There we go. Actually, let's do Painter. Is it Sampler? It's not Sampler. It might be Sampler. Hold on, chat. Let's find out. I believe it might be Substance 3D Sampler. It is not 3D Sampler. Why don't I have chat? Hold, please. I need to open up Creative Cloud to actually open this program because I don't know where it is my answer. All right. It is 3D Sampler. That is what I'm using. So we're going to use 3D Sampler right here in just a second to create a custom material. So these will be available to you. I will drop them somewhere. I'll drop them down in the description after the video. But what we're going to do is we're going to use Firefly. So check this out. We're going to go to firefly.adobe.com and we are going to type in something. Chat, I need your suggestions for this. Go ahead and type in any suggestions that you have for something that could be a texture. And someone's saying, what are MTL files and do you need to keep them? I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did, but I have no idea what an MTL file is. I can't even guess on that abbreviation. So we're gonna type something in here. Chat, let me know what you wanna see. And I'm going to do snow. So I'm going to do maybe like iridescent snow. And then we're going to do material and I'm going to do sphere. S-P-H-E-R-E, got it. So we're gonna do iridescent snow material sphere, and then I'm gonna do it like on a black background. And someone's saying Jello embedded with marshmallows. Yes, Jello's gonna be hard because Jello is a brand name, and so it may not generate Jello, but we can try to do like gelatin. All right, really cool. So we've got this like orb, snow orb that's happening here. I really, really like this one. And so what we're gonna do is I am just going to download this. So I'm gonna download this image. We're gonna use it for just a second in our next generation. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to keep this iridescent snow material, but I am going to change it. We are gonna change it we're gonna change it to top down view. And then we are going to add in seamless pattern. And I'm actually going to move seamless pattern to the beginning because it is very important that we have a seamless pattern. So now we are going to use this as our reference and we are going to go to upload your image in the reference gallery right behind my head. We are going to head over to the download and I'm going to grab this one. And here we're going to upload this reference image that we had in the little snow globe. So now we have the snow globe reference that we have. We're going to do seamless pattern, iridescent snow material, top down view. And we are going to hit generate. And what's really cool is this should generate a material that we can use. So we can drop this into Sampler and use it as a custom material. We can add in some different effects. So let's see what happens here. Seamless pattern. Okay, I really like this one. I think, is this seamless is the question. Let's find out. So I'm gonna click here and we are going to copy this image and I'm just gonna bring in Illustrator real quick and test if it's seamless. It doesn't look like it is, but we may need to refine our prompt. I mean, it's not seamless. It's pretty close to being seamless. It's not seamless. We're not going to call that seamless. So we're going to do seamless repeating. So let's see what happens here. If I do seamless repeating pattern, we are using this image again as our reference to make sure that we stay in that zone. I want to make sure that it is a repeating pattern because we're going to be using it as a material. All right, let's see if any of these got closer. I'm thinking that this, oops, no. Stop that, okay. I am thinking that this one might look a little more seamless, not the link. I want the image, please. Illustrator, Firefly. I don't know which one I should yell at right now. There we go. All right, so let's see if this is seamless. Yes, it is repeating and it is indeed looking pretty seamless to me. All right, so there's, oops. Chat, this is a pretty seamless look, right? This is completely seamless. So love this, completely seamless, love that. So what I can do is I can come back here and we are going to download this right here. And then we're going to bring it into Substance Sampler. From there, we can create new, and this is going to give us this ball. And all we need to do to create a custom material is drag in what we just created. So we've got our seamless pattern here. All I need to do is drag this in right here. We are going to do image to material, AI powered, which is what we want. We're going to hit import and then watch what happens. This is going to be really cool. Watch what happens here, chat. It is going to import this image for me, and it's going to create it into a material. A modern pattern. Yes, I actually really, really like this pattern. I am not mad about this pattern. So it's going to load in. It does take a second, and check that out. We have this seamless background. So we do want to add some metallic to it. Oops, sorry. We do want to add some different effects here. So there are different categories that you can use. That's really easy. So we can scroll down here, and I do want this to be metal. I want it to look shiny and iridescent. So we're going to change it to metal, and it is going to update that. Yes, we are going to get some buffering. If it looks like I am being super jumpy, yes. No, that is me just popping and locking. I can dance. No, Substance 3D Sampler is very, very intense. And so yes, it is going to be pretty intense as we do this. Material type, we do want it to be shiny. So I am going to start adding in some different effects here. And this already is looking really good. You can see here as we rotate it, look at that seamless pattern. This is really cool, really shiny. I am not mad about that. And it has given us some dimension onto this as well. And so I am very much loving this. All I need to do now is go to File, and we can do Export, and we are going to export this as, let's maybe do Metal Snow. And we are going to make sure that we have an SBSAR file. We're going to export, and it's going to export this for us. Again, it is going to take a second. It is going to be a little bit jumpy because it is exporting that. Every time it's jumpy, I'm just going to start moving. And it looks like a glass marble. It does look like a glass marble. So it looks like we have it already in our settings. Let me make sure that it's there. Oh, is it not saved yet? Did I put it on the desktop? Oh, it hasn't. Where did I save it, chat? Somebody rewound the video. I put it on the desktop. So let me make sure that it is actually exported onto the desktop. It hasn't gone there yet. Let's give it just a minute to see if it is still exporting. This does look like a pretty intense. There we go. Metal Snow. Got it. So now I can close this out. We're not going to save just because we have the SBSR file. And now I'm back in Illustrator. So from here, we are going to use that Metal Snow effect. And that one has to be on like a hardcore black. So we're going to go all the way to black. And let's go ahead and put the word snow. We're going to blow it up. I'm going to make it white. And what was the other font that we just got? Chat. Oh, no, I forgot. T something? I'm not mad about that. I don't, chat. If you remember what the other font was that we downloaded that we were so excited about using, let me know. For now, we're just going to use this one because I think that it looks kind of cool. And I have so many panels open. I'm going to do this real quick, chat. I'm going to go to Window. And if you ever are like discombobulated, reset Essentials Classic. Everything gets reset. And now we have a lot more space to work with. So let's go to Window, and we're going to open up our 3D materials window. And from here, I am going to load in our material. And for this one, I think that I do want to do an inflate, and let's see what happens. The inflate might look a little bit weird. I'm not mad about it. So we're gonna go to materials, we're gonna hit plus, and let's go ahead and add in our custom material that we just created on the desktop, Metal Snow. Hit open. I actually really like this material, and I'm for sure going to use it in some other stuff. So you can see it's loading in here. Let's click on Metal Snow, and it should apply it to this object. Yes. Okay, so is looking a little bit crazy. I do need to change the repeat quite a bit. There we go. Oh, chat. Oh, I am loving this. The lighting does need to be a lot brighter, so we are going to increase the lighting there. And it looks like maybe the material is a little bit too dark. Let's just put this on black, actually. Export was one of them, and then there was another one that we were going to use, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, chat, this is good. It's too dark. It's definitely too dark, and I don't know why it got so dark, so maybe we can go in and lighten it up a little bit, or we can do a hack that I like to use, and I'll just make a copy of it, and then I'll paste it on top. I will take off the 3D here, and what we're going to do is just make it white and then change the blending mode to overlay. Oops. So that'll brighten it up. So it is definitely a hack. That is not the right way to do it, but it will brighten it up a little bit. And I am in love with this material. This material looks really, really good. Force, thank you. Force is what we were using. Ooh, let's do, yes. Force italic. Ooh, that is really cool. Snow. Not mad about that at all. I am going to do the same thing with that white. I probably need to go back and change that material to be a little bit brighter, but loving this. And what we're going to do here is I am going to add in some dimension. So maybe let's go to object, and I am going to add in some perspective here. That might give us a little bit of a width. Oh no, there we go. So add some perspective there. Okay, not crazy about it. Let's do extrude, and this will give us a nice kind of background to work with. So we're gonna extrude. I'm gonna do a bit of depth, and then we are going to add in a bevel. Nice, we're gonna do a round bevel. And then I am going to add a bunch of perspective here to give us that nice kind of shape. Sweet. Let's go ahead and round these out as well. I'm going to outline the type, Control-Shift-O, and then let's just round everything out. That will give us a little bit of a softer edge. Don't know what's happening right here, but maybe let's change the repeat and see if that helps us on the material. And chat is saying more lights. Yes, let's definitely add more lights, 100%. Okay, so not mad about this at all. Really, really like this material. I think this is a really fun material. And Jeffrey is saying add more lights. Yes, we definitely should add more lights. I don't know why we're getting this weird thing on the O as well. It's kind of bugging me a little bit. Let's do this. Let's try one more time. And I'm just going to do snow. In our font, this time I'm going to outline it at the beginning. And then we're going to do a little bit of a different technique here. What I like to do to round my corners is I'm going to space these letters out quite a bit just so we have some good space. And then I'm going to select them and go to Effect. We're going to go to Blur, Gaussian Blur, and I'm going to blur them out a little bit. And this will allow me to then retrace them, and it will give it a softer edge. So let's go to 50 here. And we are going to hit OK. And then from there, we're going to go to Object, Rasterize, OK. And once it's rasterized, I'm going to use this setting that I have, which is just Crush. You could do black and white logo and it would look similar. Crush just has way more detail on it. And let me open up Crush so that you guys can see and screenshot. These are the settings for Crush. Let me go ahead and add the advanced. So if you want to screenshot real quick, these are the settings for my Crush that I use to really get a nice heavy look to my type. This is great for just punching out black and white. So I do want the threshold to come down a little bit so I can keep these little pieces, but you can see that blur has rounded out the edges on everything very, very well. So we're going to expand that. There are a ton of anchor points because that's what my Crush does. And I am going to, we might need to move these around a little bit, but in the meantime, let's go ahead and extrude here. Yes, let's definitely keep it at that angle. I think that angle is really fun. And I am going to start moving these around just to get a little bit of a look. Oops. A little bit of a better look here. Yes. It's going to come over a little bit as well. All right. So now it looks good. Someone's saying now that the blur is like my eyesight without my glasses. Yes. We are going to change the depth of this to give it a little more depth, not too much. We are going to bevel this for a round bevel. right there. Looks good. We're going to make it white for now. Ooh, chat. So what's happening here is all of the extra anchor points are actually giving me a really cool effect on the edges. I've never seen this, and it's because of the way that we traced it and used the crush is it gave us all of those unique little anchor points. So let's go to materials. Let's apply our metal snow here. Yes, obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Let's go ahead and increase the repeat. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. And then let's add a bunch more lights. So let's change the intensity on this to really give it a nice glow. And then let's just keep adding lights here and see if we can get that to shine. Yes. One more. We're going to drag this one down to the edge. Yes. Okay, we got it. We just needed to add more lights to our scene. All right. Love that. And then I'm going to add one more here. And that is going to give me that brightness that I want at the front. So it is just a matter of doing a lot of different lights. So we're definitely going to do one up at the top here. I do want it shining more on the top of these letters. So let's see if I can change the height here. Interesting. I want to get it like a little more on the high side of things, shining down. So the intensity isn't high. Let's pull the intensity way up. There we go. So let's zoom out. Okay, chat, I'm really, really loving this texture. This is a great texture material that is generated right here. So do we want to do some kind of color light? Let's see if we add in just one color light, what is going to happen. And I think that we'll add in maybe a nice cool blue. All right, so let's take the intensity on that blue up, see if we can get some nice color. Let's maybe move it around. All right, it's not changing that much because the other lights are so bright. But you see that we have a nice blue there. I am gonna add in another light, and I'm gonna do a pink and just put these right next to these other key lights. And it should give me a cool iridescent look. All right, the pink is a little too hot. I'm gonna pull that way down. But I think we're getting a nice iridescent look here. Chat, not mad about this at all. So let's go ahead and add a shadow here just for the heck of it. Turn on shadows. It's gonna render out that shadow for me. We are gonna have to change some settings here. So shadow bounds, I think looks good. It's great on this background. I love the shadow here. Chat, anything else that we want to do here in this 3D materials? Are there any of the materials that you'd like to see? Let me know if there are any materials that you would like to see, and we can play around with that. So let's put this on a background, and maybe let's put it on this mosaic flourish background. This is gonna get way crazy, but let's do it. All right, we're gonna need to repeat this quite a bit. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely intense, but it's not bad. Chat, that's pretty cool. That's pretty intense. So looks great, awesome. Let's move on to something else, chat. What else do we want to see? What else do we want to play around with? Let me know. Let me know what you want. I believe the other options were type. We wanted to see some texture. What are some different ways that you like to play around in Illustrator? And let's go ahead and just move to texture because I think that'll be good. I'm obsessed. All right, I'm gonna delete all this just because I don't think we need it for now, but I am obsessed with that material. And even just putting that material on like a circle, I'm gonna make an orb real quick just so we can see what that material looks like on its own because I love the metal snow. I definitely wanna brighten it, but I might put that in the community marketplace. And once I brighten it, I will make it available to all of you. So I'm just going to do a revolve here. We're going to do it from the right edge this time. All right, we're looking good there. And from the right edge, we are going to go to materials. We're going to add in our metal snow. And then I am going to take that all the way up. Super high repeat. Chad, I'm not mad about it. It is so good. I really, really like this material a lot. Metal snow. All right, obsessed. Great. Love that we have it. Let's move on and talk about some texture. So there are a bunch of different ways that we can do texturing here in Illustrator. So I'm just going to type out my name. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm not mad about this one. So what we can do is there's a bunch of different ways to add texture in Illustrator. There is additive and there is subtractive. So additive would be just slamming some stuff on top. So let's use text to vector here to see if we can do some nice effects with texture using text to vector. Let's see what happens. We also are going to offset this path. So I'm going to go to effects in the appearance panel and we're going to go to path, offset path. And then I'm just going to pull this down a little bit and you see we can kind of loosen out these letters a little bit. So let's go ahead and do just a big bar over this. And I haven't done this before, so let's see what happens together. We're going to go to text to vector. And then I'm going to type in rough grunge texture. Oops. I'm going to change the subject to pattern. And then let's hit generate. So let's see if it does a rough texture vector pattern. And how does the material get the dimension? That's something that we did in Substance 3D Sampler. There are presets that actually give it dimension. So let's see here, rough grunge texture. I'm very interested to see what it's going to generate. And I'm hoping it's kind of just like random splatters. Oh no, it's creating like an actual pattern of some stuff. I can see it over here as it's loading in. Okay, let's zoom here and see what it created. Cars? Okay. Random stuff. Bottles and perfumes. Okay, cool. So let's not do that. Let's maybe try to do scene. Grunge texture paint splatter and see what that does. I'm super interested playing with text to vector for texturing. I don't think that it's the best solution, but I think that it's something that maybe we can play around with and see what happens. I want it to be good. We may end up using stock here, or I may show you a different way. We'll probably end up using stock here. Let's let text to vector just render. A text to render. Okay, not mad about this texture. That's a pretty cool texture. Let's try this one. Okay, these textures are pretty good. So what I'm going to do with this actually is I'm going to select one of these textures and I'm going to go up to edit. We're going to go to edit colors and then I'm going to go to convert to grayscale. And that's going to help kind of just convert things a little bit. I also am going to recolor this because I want it to be a little bit brighter for the technique that we're going to use. We're going to go to edit color and then I am going to go to recolor artwork. And then in this panel, I'll be able to brighten things up. So let's go right here and you can see show brightness and hue. I'm going to adjust the brightness to be really bright. So we're going to adjust the brightness there. And saturation, I do want to be all the way down. 100% we want it to be all the way down. So I am going to maybe toss this in the middle right there. So I'm going to scale this so that it's over all of my type. And we are going to select both of these pieces. And what we could do is we could kind of just randomly select some of these and delete them to add texture. But what I like to do is select both of your objects. You have the one in the front and the one in the back, which is our type. And then we are going to go to this, the transparency panel. From there, we're going to click make mask, and that's going to make us an opacity mask. And basically an opacity mask means that it is going to affect this object. You can see it's right here. But in the opacity mask, we can actually just click on the opacity mask and move it around, and you'll see that it affects the type. So it'll basically lock it into the type. So not a great example, but if you have something with higher texture, let's grab something from Adobe stock real quick. Let's go to stock.adobe.com. And from here, actually, let's do stock.adobe.com/free. Let's do some free assets. From there, we are going to go ahead and type in, let's just do grunge texture. Yeah. So this one looks great. I'm going to re-download it because I've used it before. And then let's bring it into Illustrator. So there are two ways to do this. Is we can just drag this in, and we can use an opacity mask. And opacity masks are going to still be pixel based, but they can give you some really nice effects. So, hey, George, all we need to do is select these two. And basically what an opacity mask is going to do is everything that is black is going to get punched out to the background. Everything that's white is going to shine through. So with both of those selected, we are going to make mask. And you see right there that if we add maybe like a blue behind it, it is completely punching out those areas that were dark and then leaving the areas that were white. If we want to change it, we can come back into our opacity mask, just grab it right here. And you'll see as I move this around, it is moving that texture in the background, but it is making it so that it is still see-throughable. This is a really great way to play around with texture, especially in Illustrator when you don't want to destroy anything. You can just go back and forth. And then if I wanted to just say hi, you could change the type by just selecting the type, and it is going to maintain that texture. Maybe we want to say hola. I'm learning Spanish. And you can play around, and it will definitely retain that texture because it's attached to the actual line, not necessarily each of the letters. Really cool. So another way that we could do this is we could scroll down and we could go to our letter. We're going to release that. We could have these two, and what we could do if you wanted to is we could go into an image trace. And I'm just going to use my crush again. This is going to be pretty intense. We're going to use that crush, which is an auto trace setting that I have. And you can see there that it's gotten very, very intense black and whites. This is great for having some like really intense contrast to use that auto trace. And then what we're going to do is we are going to select both of those again. We're going to make a mask, and you see we're going to have, oops. Oh, did it not mask? Chat, I'm so interested. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, chat. So here's what happened here, which is really interesting. When I try to mask these, nothing is going to show through. And the reason is there is no white. So the black punches everything out, but there is no white in this image. It is just clear. So it is technically all just black. So you can see that it is showing through that blue. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to make a rectangle here using the rectangular marquee tool. And I am going to select both of these. So we'll have the white and the black. So there's a white box behind the black texture. And from there, we are going to select both the type and the texture and now make mask. And that should work. Yes. So basically what it did is it's letting the white shine through. But if we wanted the opposite way, we can click on invert mask and boom. We have a nice crunchy texture. You can see these are very specific vector textures just because of the way that we did that crush on the texture before. It's a great way to texture. Another way to do it, you can just, I hate that we're going to do this because this is going to kill my computer, but what we could do is we could very easily just expand this. So I am going to ungroup this so that I get rid of that white box behind it. Yep. It's right there. And then I am going to go in here. I'm going to lighten this up quite a bit just so I don't have as much intensity. Where are my settings? Do I need to ungroup something? Why did I lose every setting? Okay, let's click here. Oh, uh-oh. There we go. What? Uh-oh. All right, let's turn back on crush, and then let's take the threshold down. Threshold basically is just like how dark it gets. So I'm going to take it down so it's going to have less of a threshold. There we go. So that's a lot of texture. It's going to be a lot of anchor points. We're going to hit expand. Rest in peace. And then what I like to do to kind of add in texture is I'll come in here and I will just double click to select this and then use the lasso tool. So if you haven't used the lasso tool in Illustrator, there is a lasso tool that's right here. And all I need to do is kind of click and drag, and I'll drag around the letters to the areas that I don't want. So it is going to select like bits and pieces of anchor points. So I'm gonna hit delete, and then I'm gonna hit delete one more time, and you'll see those are all the hanging anchor points. So if I hit delete again, it is going to delete all of those anchor points. So from there, I can really come around each of these letters and then just kind of delete the parts that I don't want. And this is a good way to add some texture over the top. And that way it's not like having that many extra points. I mean, it's a lot of extra points, but this is a great way to just add some more subtle texture to your type and just go around kind of the outline of these letters. And that's going to add enough to the letter forms so that it will look like it has kind of this printed effect. So not the best way to do this, but this is the way that I like to do it and the way that it works for me. Again, there's no right or wrong way. That looks like a little animal. There is no right or wrong way to design or to create. So if you find something that works for you, do that. I'm definitely showing you the techniques that I use with the hope that you can learn something, not necessarily that you do it the way that I do it. So there, when I come out of that group, you'll see I've got a nice kind of printed texture over this. And sometimes what I'll do is I will make another version of that texture to do in another color. So let's do this real quick. What I'll do sometimes is I will grab my type in the background and I'll make the type like red. And then I'll grab this text and make it blue. We'll multiply this down, and that way we get this really cool interaction between these colors. But then maybe I'll take the texture and offset it a little bit. We'll change the blending mode back to normal, and I'll make it white using the eyedropper tool, or just grabbing white here. And then we'll send it back a layer. So we'll go right click, we'll go to arrange, and we'll go send backward. And that way we get some cool interactions with the type, but then we're also getting that kind of offset look with the white. So great way to add texture. And you see there that it does have a pretty good impact. And I did these colors backwards. So let me change the red to blue and then the blue to red. It just has a better effect when the lighter colors in the background. There we go. So you can see now we've got that cool kind of like 3D offset type. So that's how you can texture in Illustrator, which is really cool. So we learned a bunch of stuff. We kind of went over a bunch of things here on the community recap. Thanks so much for joining me on this stream. If you have any questions, let me know. We got about a minute left. So if you have any questions, let me know. We are going to be back next week with some really great content. It's going to be a fun time. And then the Adobe Live Holiday Week is on the way. So in 2 weeks, we'll be having an Adobe Live Holiday Week. Every single stream will have a giveaway, and we will be having some physical goods to give away, which will be fun. We'll have some digital goods to give away, and just a really, really great time. Also on the Adobe Live YouTube channel, we'll be uploading some Yule logs soon. So keep an eye out for Yule logs for you to turn on your TVs and just have on while you decorate, while you get ready for whatever holiday you are celebrating. So chat, happy holidays. I will see you 1, 2, 3 more times before the end of the year. So y'all are great. Stick around. There is a video community stream after this if you want to hang out and join more community. See y'all later. Bye.